Hare Krishna. We are discussing from the ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And I believe in the last class we discussed text 4 to 10, which describe about the inconceivable relationships of Today we will go forward. Today we are going to see text 1125. Which talk about of the non-worshippers. That is right. So non-worshippers, text 11 to 20. Fools deride me when I descend the human. They do not know the transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all faculty. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. O son of Prithia, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotion of service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Always chanting my glories and endeavoring with great determination. Bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual. I am the sacrifice. I am the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the earth. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sam, and the Yajurveda. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold, and I send forth the rain. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me in the ritual. purified of sinful reactions. They take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental, to them I carry what they love, and I preserve what they have. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my transcendental true nature, my true transcendental nature, follow. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live in. So text 11:12 is contrasted with text 13:14, where the Lord is presenting a contrast between fools and demoniac personalities, whereas vis-a-vis the saintly personalities. Okay, let's see. Avajananti Mamura Manushim Tanumashikam Parambhavamajanto Mamabhutamaheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all. From the other explanations of the previous verses of this chapter, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common. The personality of Godhead who conducts the creation, maintenance, annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation cannot be a human being. Yet there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the origin, Supreme Personality, as is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna, he is a Supreme Lord. There are many Ishwaras, controllers, and one appears greater than another. In the ordinary management of affairs in the material world, you find some official or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him there is a minister, and above him there is a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is a supreme controller. There are many controllers undoubtedly, both in this material and the spiritual world, but Krishna is a supreme controller because Ishvara Parama Krishna, and his body is Satchidananda, non-material. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in the previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, although he is not a common man. The foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. His body is here is called Manushan because he is acting just like a man, a friend of Arjuna's, a politician involved in the battle of Kurukshetra. In so many ways, he is acting just like an adult. And actually, his body is Sachidananda Vigraha, eternal bliss and knowledge, absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishna. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of God Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge. This is Gopal Tapani Upanishad. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tamekam Govindam, your Govind, pleasure of the cow in the sense. Sachidananda Vigraham, and your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge, there are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as an ordinary. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but this conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Muda. For foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activities of the Supreme Lord and his different energy. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, and he is a proprietor of everything that we, and he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him, nor do they know that the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is the master of the material energy, as has been explained in several places. Mama Maya Duratya, he claims that the material energy, although very powerful, is under his control, and whoever surrenders under can get out of this material energy. If a soul surrendered to Krishna can get out of the material energy, then how can the Supreme Lord, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the whole cosmic nature, have a material body like us? So this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish people, however, cannot conceive that the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, appearing just like an ordinary man, can be the control of all the Arabs and all the gigantic manifestation of the universe. The biggest and the minutest are beyond their conception. So they cannot imagine that a form like that of a human being can simultaneously control the infinite and the minute. Actually, he is controlling the infinite and the finite. He is apart from all manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his Yoga Maishwarya, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and the finite simultaneously. He can remain aloof from it. Although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears just like a human being, can control the infinite and the finite. Those who are pure devotees accept this, for they know that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Therefore, they completely surrender unto him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service. Now, there are many controversies between the impersonalists and the personalists about the Lord's appearance as a human being. But if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, the authoritative texts for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. He's not an ordinary man, although he appeared on this earth as an ordinary man. In the Bhagavatam, first canto, first, when the sages, headed by Shona, inquire about the activities of Krishna, they said, Yatavana kila karmani saharamena keshavaha atimatyani bhagavan kuda kapatamanusha. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with Balaram, played like a human being. And so, mask, he performed many superhuman acts. The Lord's appearance as a man bewilders the foolish. No human being could perform the wonderful acts that Krishna performed while he was on this earth. And Krishna appeared before his father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki. He appeared with four hands. While he was present on this earth. Yeah. Okay, so when Krishna, no human being could perform the wonderful acts that Krishna performed while he was present on this. When Krishna appeared before his mother and father, Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with four hands, but after the praise of his parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child. As stated in Bhagavatam, Babhuva Prakrita Shishu. He became just like an ordinary child, an ordinary human being. Now, here again, it is indicated that the Lord's appearance as an ordinary human being is one of the features of his transcendental body. In 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is also stated that Arjuna prayed to see Krishna's form of four hands. After revealing this form, Krishna, when petitioned by Arjuna, again assumed his original human-like form, Manusham Rupa. These different features of the Supreme Lord are certainly not those of the ordinary human. Some of those who derive Krishna and are infected With the Mayavad philosophy, quote the following words from Bhagavatam 3:29-21 to prove that Krishna is just an ordinary man. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vasthita sada. The Supreme is present in every living being. We should better take note of this particular verse from the Vaishnavacharya, like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, instead of following the interpretations of unauthorized persons who derive Krishna. Jiva Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna, in its plenary expansion as Paramatma, is situated in the moving and the non-moving entities as a super. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Archamurti, the form of the Supreme Lord in the temple, and does not respect other living entities, is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple. There are three kinds of devotees of the Lord, and the neophyte is the lowest state. The neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity in the temple than to the devotee. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur warned this sort of mentality should be correct. A devotee should see that because Krishna is present in everyone's heart as Paramatma, everybody is the embodiment or the temple of the Supreme. So, as one offers respect to the temple of the Lord, he should similarly properly respect each and every body in which the Paramatma dwells. Everyone should therefore be given proper respect and should not be neglected. There are many. There are also many impersonalists who deride temple worship. They say that since God is everywhere, why should one respect temple worship? But if God is everywhere, is he not in the temple or in the day? Although the personalists and the impersonalists will fight with one another perpetually, perfect devotee in Krishna consciousness knows that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality, he is all pervading as confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Although his personal abode is Goloka Vrindavan, he is always staying there by his different manifestations of energy. And by his plenary expansion, he is present everywhere, in all parts of the material of the spiritual creation. A materialistic person practically stays in illusion. Materialistic person practically stays in illusion. So we can see that the materialistic person is not even aware of the reality of the world. One stays in one's own world of imagination and illusion. And only in that illusion one is able to consider Krishna as an ordinary person. Because one considers oneself very extraordinary. When Jambavan had a fight with Krishna, for many days Jambavan was fighting, and after that he was thoroughly exhausted. When Jambavan became thoroughly exhausted, immediately he concluded that this cannot be an ordinary person. Who can combat and stand in front of me? Now, interestingly, we can see Jambavan is on the platform of reality. Both of his conclusions. The first of Jambavan's conclusion was that he was aware of his powers. Jambavan was aware of his powers. And secondly, he could understand that in front of him, in front of him, nobody could stand. So that was his first awareness. And Lord Krishna is standing and he is on the floor, lying down, thoroughly defeated and thoroughly drained out of energy. Jambavan is immediately understanding his Supreme Personality. So, mind it, the same conclusion Ravana could not make. Jambavan made that conclusion. Kalyavan was also defeated uh, by Krishna. Janasan was also defeated by Krishna. But they could not understand. I believe 17, 18 times Janasan was defeated by Krishna. Janasan could not understand. Jambavan could understand. What is the difference? Hmm? No, that is definitely the case. But what does it mean? Or how does it translate? So, why Jambavan could understand? But Jambavan is on the platform of reality, whereas these people like Jadasan and Ravana, uh, they are in illusion. So, what is this platform of reality and what is this platform of illusion? First of all, Jambavan is aware of his strength. That means what? So Jambavan is knowing that okay, I'm a devotee of Lord Ramachandra, and uh, and the strength which I have is coming from my subservience to Lord Ramachandra. So therefore, he was confident that no mortal being can stand in front of me because the Lord Ram Shakti which is coming. And now he's seeing that Lord Ram Shakti is coming, but he is all he's not able to combat and he is on the floor, drained, and therefore he's concluding this is Ram. So he's in the platform of reality because he's understanding powers are coming from Krishna. And now if the powers are becoming powerless, that means Krishna has taken it. He had given me, he has taken it back. Only Krishna can. This is Krishna. This is Supreme Personality. Let me surrender. Whereas Ravana could not conclude this because Ravana was an illusion. What is the illusion? The illusion is that my powers are coming from me. Jambavan didn't have that thought process. Therefore, Jambavan is not an illusion. Jambavan is able to understand that I am powerful. But why am I powerful? Because I am devotee of Lord Ram and Lord Ram's empowerment is coming in my existence. Therefore, that power is coming from Lord Ram. So, so he knows that. But Ravana, although Ravana's powers are also coming because of the tapas, because of Tapabal and Falashruti, and because of his worship of Lord Shiva and because of his tapasya to Lord Brahma, he is getting those powers. But out of illusion, Ravana is thinking that these are my powers. So he has got intoxicated. So in this way, we can see that that's why materialistic people are being described as fools, moda. They are fools because they are living in illusion. Where the sun is resplendent in the sky, they are saying that it is darkness. They're fools. So when everything is evident in front of one side, and still one doesn't believe, that is foolish. Actually, taking this material world to be ordinary itself is a sign of foolishness. But material world is not ordinary. It appears to be working smoothly, but it is not ordinary. So it appears that fruits, vegetables are growing because it is growing very smoothly and in abundance. But it's not ordinary. Why it is not ordinary? Because we cannot grow vegetables and fruits in our laboratory. Can we? Mind-boggling complexity being presented and manifested by the Lord in a seamless form. So nothing is ordinary. What is ordinary? Our body functions not in an ordinary way. It's extraordinary. Our bodies function. The body goes on for a good long time. It's not ordinary. It may be seamless, but it's not ordinary. Because we cannot make it happen in our laboratories. So therefore, what to say anything else, even considering the material energy or the day-to-day working of the material nature to be ordinary is a great question. Where it is ordinary. Nothing is ordinary. What to say of the Supreme? Now the question which comes is that okay, then why is the Lord at all appearing to be appearing as the ordinary? If the Lord is extraordinary, why is he appearing as the ordinary? And one simple evident reason what we can find is that the Lord is manifesting as the ordinary because when the Lord manifests as the extraordinary, we cannot handle it. It will be beyond our handling power. So therefore, the Lord is appearing as the ordinary in front of the devotees so that the devotees can relate to the Supreme. Just like you see, Lord Krishna showed the Vishnu darshan to Arjuna, and immediately we see Arjuna is seeing, and after just one glance, Arjuna is making a point that I cannot handle this. Please remove it. I cannot handle this anymore. And the Lord came back. Shamasundar. Similarly, when the Lord came in four-handed Vishnu form, That also Arjuna, after some time, Arjuna got saturated. So Arjuna is becoming ecstatic. The Lord is coming back in the throne. So the Lord manifests as extraordinary. We just cannot handle it. Therefore, for our sake, the Lord appears to be ordinary, although He is extraordinary. And therefore, Prabhupada says Krishna is not a manufactured God. It's not that Krishna did tapasya to get some power or something like that. Because the interesting point is that he used the extraordinary shines or rises or shines actually on the basic foundation ground of the ordinary. The extraordinary always shines on the plane of the ordinary. So that means the extraordinary always have a trace of the ordinary. And if one only looks towards that direction, then that's foolish because one is depriving oneself of the extraordinary. But every extraordinary has an ordinary trace. So just like suppose, say for example, if there is a big feast, the question is if there is a big feast, and suppose most of the things are finished, still somebody who goes there at least will get rice, or maybe even chapati, or puri or whatever. Is missed the extraordinary, is it not? But the trace of the extraordinary is the rice dal, the ordinary. At least one will get that, is it not? When it's sabji finished, paratha finished, uh, juices finished, sweet finished, at least rice dal. But suppose one has cooked a rice dal only, and that is finished, one will not get anything. So the extraordinary has a trace of the ordinary. But if you don't accept the extraordinary, simply in madness looming on the ordinary, then we'll be deprived. And that is what the Lord is explaining, that these people are perpetually bewildered and their destiny has no hopes. So it is all about fixing our vision where we want to look. Do we want to look holistically, or do we only want to look at a partial trace of the holistic manifestation? So those who do not want to elevate their vision, they're fools. And that's what Lord Krishna says. Next 13. Now this is Mahatmanas Tamam Partha Daiva Pratapama Vajanti Ananya Manaso Gnatva Bhutanam. O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded are under the protection of the divine name. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of God, original and inexhaustible. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of Mahatma is he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material energy. How is this effective? This explained in 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. This is our qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality. This is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is free from the control of material nature, is put under the guidance of a spiritual or spiritual. The guidance of spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. When one is promoted in that way by surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of the great soul that is Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, cause of all the world. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma, great soul, develops through association with other Mahatmas or pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of the demigod. So, whereas the great souls, they see the hand of the Lord in everything. So, therefore, they don't want to divert their attention on anything else. Ah, so we can see there are two things. Now, why these two natures are in a very powerful contrast, the two natures are uh, explained. See, the point is now Krishna's expansion of his energies is infinite, beyond the capacity of the living entity to handle it. So the materialistic people of this, the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord is expanding his energies. And then there is this expanse of the energies. Now, all this to understand is beyond the capacity of the being. Beyond the capacity of the being. So the materialistic people now, when the whole spectrum is beyond the capacity, then one can concentrate on one aspect of the entire spectrum. So the materialists, they focus on the other end, the manifestation end, and from that end, it is impossible to reach back to Krishna. Whereas the devotees, what they do is that they focus on this end. They focus on Krishna, and they are seeing, oh, everything is coming from Krishna. They don't go further to become entangled in the material life. So that is really being stated here by Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, these great souls, they don't allow uh, any kind of distraction. They are firmly fixed that everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Let me offer everything to the Supreme Lord. And they don't allow any other kind of distraction. This goes to show that they are not flowing along the direction of the expanse of middle energy. They have understood that, okay, how all different types of middle energy are coming from Krishna. Now, but they don't want to flow towards the manifestation of middle energy, because that flow can intoxicate and overwhelm. So that is the point. So the devotees are on this end, Mahatmanas Tumam Partha. They are seeing Krishna, they are happy serving Krishna, and a little bit they see, oh, this everything is expanding from Krishna. Good enough. But on this extreme end are the materialists. So they keep making algorithms to. So everything we cannot understand. All what we can understand a little bit. So better to understand Krishna, how Krishna is explained, rather than understanding the expanse. Because to understand the expanse, we'll never be able to trace it back to Krishna. It is so infinite. Now Prabhupada is giving the clue that you see the minute and the infinite both are inconceivable. But fools are not able to understand the inconceivable power of the Lord behind the minute and the. So now the Lord is describing how He is the source of everything. So basically, the Lord is presenting this side where the devotees, Mahatmana Sumam Partha, what do they see? What is their meditation? what is there, they are not seeing, okay, how the manifestation keeps changing, the longitudinal analysis of the manifestation, so on and so forth. They are seeing on the causal side. And the Lord is presenting this picture in the next few verses. And the Lord is saying, okay, I am everything what is being seen. Uh, so that causal picture the Lord is presenting, which is where the Mahatma now is already staying, or the Lord is presenting. And that's why the next few verses are coming in that. Let's see.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, is it audible?
Mahatma 14. Let's go. Let's go 16. So here you see, you're beginning from text. Which one? 16. Beginning from text 16, the Lord is presenting this, his causal Aishwarya. The Lord is saying, this is where you should thrive. Yeah. Okay, so here is this question here. Here, pure devotee of Krishna is mentioned, or pure devotee, all pure devotees. Now, here an example is given that how pure devotees are very specific. Why? Because they don't want to forget, they don't want to lose that thread, that how everything is coming from Krishna. And Krishna is giving that thread now from 9:16 onwards. So they are very specific, because in this material world, unless one is very specific, one will lose it. And that is why these pure devotees are very, very specific. They don't want to lose it. The thread of how everything is coming from Krishna. Because it's very easy to lose it, because this material nature is actually overwhelming. So therefore, they don't want to take chances. Pure devotee. That is the point. Uh, our process demands faith, but what if someone is demoniac, does not have faith on Krishna? And what is the basic principle to build faith? Faith is necessary for existence and survival. The question is not whether to have faith or not. The question is where to have faith. A demoniac person has faith in his own mind and sense, so he gets destroyed. Whereas a devotee has faith in Krishna. So when non-devotee or demoniac people are saying that I don't have faith in God, what basically they are saying is that I don't want to. Not having faith basically means I don't want to. I don't want to accept Krishna. I don't want to zoom on Krishna. Because faith means choice of directionality. Which directionality we want to accept. That's what it means. And whatever we accept, we act accordingly to substantiate the basis or to substantiate the commitment towards which we act. So faith is the acceptance of the hypothesis, and the experiment follows the hypothesis. So if one accepts the hypothesis that Krishna doesn't exist, then the experiment is atheist, and everything is one tries to see everything how everything is random and all that. Although nothing is, and one tries to see everything is impersonal, although nothing is impersonal. And one tries to see everything as ordinary, although nothing is ordinary. So it's a choice. Faith is about choice. Okay, so let's read. Therefore, Prabhupada said, if you want, in one moment you can become a devotee. It's choice. So 917, the Lord is saying, I am the Father of the universe, the Father, the support, and the grandson. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, Sami, Yajurveda. The entire cosmic manifestations, moving and unmoving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. under the creation of Prakriti. Some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are part and parcels of Krishna. As such, these living entities who appear to be our father, mother, etc., nothing but Krishna. In this verse, the word dhata means creator. Not only are our father and mother parts and parcels of Krishna, but the creator, the grandmother, the grandfather, etc., are also Krishna. Actually, any living entity being part or parcel of Krishna is Krishna. All the Vedas therefore aim only towards Krishna. Whatever we want to know through the Vedas is but a progressive step towards understanding. The subject matter which helps us purify our constitutional position is especially Krishna. Similarly, the living entity who is inquisitive to understand all the Vedic principles is also part and parcel of Krishna, and as such is also Krishna. In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om or Pranav is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. Mm. So, because in the hymns of the four Vedas, the Omkar is prominent, it is understood. So, that is why we see that spiritual life depends on. Now, we hear that okay, spiritual life follows this three stages. Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojana. If Sambandha with Krishna is established, one understands that Krishna is the fountain. Then everything in this world, potentiality gives a remembrance of Krishna. In that same mode, Prabhupada is telling a part and parcel of Krishna is also Krishna. Means what? Not that part and parcel literally Krishna, but the part and parcel is actually representing the vibhuti of Krishna. So therefore, don't be limited to the part, but the part gives a glimpse of the whole. So better be connected to the whole. But path is giving a directionality of Krishna. So every living entity can give one a directionality of Krishna. But it's not that every living entity is Krishna. That is my assertion. So not to be lost in the part, connect to the whole. The part is giving a directionality. So okay, so I think let's stop here. We'll continue for the next class. Yes. Yes. Every devotee sees Lord in the temple. Yes. So that, if because we don't have made this we have a little bit like outside you cannot he, that person tries to do artificially make Krishna outside. Then the faith which has in the deity diffuses. No, the neophyte point is the neophyte has faith in Krishna, the deity. That is fine. The neophyte requires association of great devotees. But that association, the neophyte's vision is up. If he artificially imitates its artificial imitation is not going to help the neo. One cannot take short. One has to associate with the devotees. Serve the devotee. Yeah. One has to associate. Then the neophyte's spectrum of understanding becomes broad. On its own, it will not. It requires association. Okay. Granthraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.